My name is Shawn DiPrinzio, and I'm going to be your instructional designer for the following week. What we're here to do is to train you on the electronic documentation software that your hospital has purchased for you. We're going to go through this in small portions. It may be a little overwhelming because we will be doing 8-hour classes for the week, but we're going to do it in small portions that you're going to be able to understand, and we'll be able to get into it deeper as we go. I encourage questions. I encourage writing some notes down and maybe talking to me a little bit later during the breaks. I also am here for any other kind of support, and everyone has my email address if they have questions they want to shoot to me after hours. So let's begin. This is called the tracking board. The tracking board is the home page. This is where you're going to be able to take a quick snapshot of what's happening in the emergency department. This will be on a television screen in the ED, but it's going to be HIPAA compliant, so you're not going to be able to see patients' names, but you will see your room, you will see the emergency level, and you'll be able to see the complaint. So with that being said, let's talk about the button ED Pulse Check. This button is going to be your home button. If you get lost and you're clicking on something and you don't know where you are and you want to get back to this page, you're always going to click on that ED Pulse Check. That ED Pulse Check will be on every one of the pages that you'll be getting into. We're going to start with the columns from left to right. I'd really like you not to click on any of the links, just because that will take you to a page that you're not going to be not going to recognize. And if that does happen, please click on the ED Pulse Check and it'll take you right back to this page. So let's begin. The left column. This is going to be your bed and urgency column. This is going to be where the patient is, what bed they're in, what zone they're in, and also what kind of emergent level they are. You're going to be able to assign these colors, or your administration will, when you first open up the application. So obviously this patient is in zone 1, they're in bed 1, and they have a red emergent level, meaning they're the sicker patient. The next column is going to be the patient's name. Like I said, when you're on the TV screen, it's going to be HIPAA compliant. You're not going to get the patient's name. You're just going to have initials. If this is your patient, you're going to be able to see the patient's full name. When you log into your specific login, you'll be able to see everything. The next column is going to be the patient's age. The patient's age also has their gender beside it. This is blue, and this is a link. This is going to be able to take you to another page. You're going to be able to click on this link and it's going to take you to a FACE page, or a patient data page. The patient data page is going to tell you the demographics of the patients, the insurance information, and telephone numbers, next of kin. I encourage you to look at that after we get through this page. The next one is the complaint. Why is the patient here? The complaint can be abdominal pain, it can be a migraine, it can be chest pain. You're going to be able to choose from drop-downs in complaints, or you're going to be able to type it in. You're normally going to get this complaint from the triage nurse. And sometimes the triage nurse has different ideas of what the complaint is. You are going to have the opportunity as a physician or a nurse to change the complaint after you've done your first assessment. For example, if the triage nurse says that the patient came in with chest pain, they may put chest pain on that, which is going to signal an emergent level of red. When you assess your patient, you're going to come in and the patient may have a chest congestion, which is different from the chest pain. You're going to change it, which is going to change the color of the emergent level. The next column is the physician and RN column. This is where you assume the patient's responsibility. You assume the care. You're going to be able to click on a bubble or an initial, and from that time it's going to be electronically documented that you assume the care for that patient at this time. If you see a bubble, that means the patient doesn't have a physician or a nurse assigned to them. If you see initials, that means the patient does have a nurse or physician assigned, and you are going to assume the care from them. All you'll have to do is click on the initial or the bubble to sign up for your patient. The next column is the orders column. That's kind of where everything happens. You're going to be able to see what's been happening with the patient before you got there. Or you're going to be able to see what the physician has ordered you to do as a nurse. Or as the physician, you're going to be able to see if a lab is ready for you to take a look at. All of the letters and all of the colors are going to mean something a little different, and we will have little cheat sheets for the colors at the beginning of the Go Live, so you'll be able to kind of understand what the colors mean. But like I said, when you click on things, it's going to give you a lot more information, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But let's, for example, see the green L. The green L means that there is a lab. It has been ordered. It has been resulted because it's green. And when it turns blue, it means that physician has read the results. Okay? If you see a red M, as a nurse, you're going to know that the physician has ordered a medication for this patient, and you're going to click on that M and see what exactly does the physician need you to give to the patient. And like I said, the orders page is very in depth, and we're going to get into that in a little bit later. The next column is going to be your dispo column. That's your disposition. If the patient has completely been through the tests, everything's been resulted, and they're ready to go home, the physician will discharge the patient, and it will tell you where they're going. Are they going home? Are they going to a bed upstairs? Are they going to another test? Okay? The next column is length of stay. What does the length of stay mean? Well, from the beginning the patient first gets a complaint by the triage nurse, the length of stay timer starts. You're going to see little red and green clocks. Under 4 hours, it's going to stay green. Over 4 hours, it's going to turn into a red clock, meaning the patient's been here for more than 4 hours. Now, that is customizable as well, and your administration will be able to kind of choose which way you want that to go. The next column is the done column. And these are all initials and very different, numerous icons. What they mean is what's been done to the patient. Has the patient had labs? Has the patient had x-rays? Did they get the disposition? Did they have the results read? You're going to be able to see, just by a quick glimpse, exactly what's been going on with this patient and what has been done and finished on this patient. The other columns are going to be just timer columns, and you're going to be able to time how long as a nurse you've been with the patient. You're going to be able to time how long you, as a physician, you're going to be with the patient. You're going to be able to see exactly how long it takes you before you order the medication and before the medication is given. This whole entire tracking board is user date and time stamped. Everything that is done, everything that's clicked on, is going to be accounted for. This is the world of electronic documentation. Thank you very much, and I'm going to give everyone a 10-minute break, and we'll come back and we will start getting in depth and clicking into the tracking board.